Talk to me.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of Somewhere Between a Film and TV podcast. We are your hosts. I am Daniel Parra.
And I'm Erwin.
And number one, thank you so much for listening and watching. Number two, what are they going to do?
Like, comment, subscribe.
Please do. Erwin, we're doing something a little special here. It's October. It is Halloween time. So, we thought
spooky.
We're very spooky. We're spooked out, right? So, we're trying to... Every October now, we're going to try and review a couple of horror things for you.
October?
Yeah, why not? Let's get our first one out of the way.
Oh, okay.
So, we've got a throwback review for you. Although this
not much of a throwback.
This movie's a year old.
I wanted to see this
Erwin
movie.
picked it.
Yeah, I wanted to see it.
So, everything we review has full spoilers,
Yes.
but you must have seen this by now.
No.
Unless you're Erwin. And
That is true.
we are reviewing what, Erwin?
Talk to me.
About what?
I hate you. I knew it. Talk to me. The movie Talk to Me.
We were reviewing they call themselves, I believe it's RackaRacka or RackaRacka. I know it sounds like chowder. But the YouTube group, they got famous for that, and they learned a lot of their cinematic tricks and things through that, and then they went on to be unit hands-on crew on the Babadook, I believe.
Oh.
So they have experience here already, and it's always interesting watching it's been happening a lot lately. YouTubers transitioning into filmmaking. It's been inspirational. Chris Stuckman's done it as of recent. Maybe
Chris Stuckman.
Maybe one day we could as well. We'll see, right?
We'll see.
And
We'll be directing a Venom 4.
oh, Venom 4?
Yeah. Venom 4, The Force Awakening.
If you and I were in charge of that, we would just do all the funny stuff. And
Yeah, that's true. You guys are fired.
and then none of the other stuff. We would be like Phil Lord and Christopher Miller on the Han Solo movie.
Dude, that'd be amazing. I would love to be compared to Phil Lord and Christopher Miller.
Oh, yeah. So, Erwin, with this movie,
Yes.
because you've never seen it before, right?
No.
Did you love it? Did you hate it? Or are you somewhere between?
Loved it.
Yeah? I really love this movie as well. I hadn't seen it since it had come out, but I remember being kind of another one of those ones where I was like, that movie was scary. Like,
It was scary.
Yeah,
it was really good.
Yeah. What'd you like about it?
What I loved about it was, I guess, how they utilized like this one trick and made it such. I guess at first it seemed very scary to how it was being utilized in this movie, but it wasn't until later on when things, get to the point where, wow, this is a lot scarier when you realize you're not in control of things.
Yeah.
And once that happens, it definitely feels very real.
Yeah. I know we talked about how, even in Smile 2, that so many of these movies are about trauma, and this is an A24 distributed film, so yes.
Yes, generational
Like,
trauma.
finally.
My favorite.
But this one utilizes it in a way where it's a parallel. It's an allegory for a couple of things. It's an allegory for the idea
I think it was very gory.
Well, not gory allegory, but in terms of going to something that's a substance.
Dude,
like,
you're good.
For trying to avoid
The Last Dance.
No, confronting loss, because it sort of starts off.
show.
It starts off with the Remembrance Day stuff.
It's Independence Day.
And, no, dude. And the symbolism here for whether it be an addiction to something is the hands. The idea of trying to,
Because the mom was also an addict.
yeah,
And then daughter became an addict too.
but through a different thing, right?
Yes.
And all of that stuff, because we were talking about how with the main character here, are you on this person's side or not?
No.
No?
No.
What led you to feel that way about the main character here?
I think it's because of how the movie treated her character,
Yeah.
where she seemed just very selfish.
Yeah.
Like, you understand why she was just being selfish, because she wanted to feel good and better about the situation she was in when she lost her mother.
Yeah.
But she was definitely doing it in the wrong ways. And so them showcasing her character through those tough times and how she was dealing through those tough times of just basically just, getting attention from others and trying to just feel better about herself in that situation.
Yeah.
So that's what made me not like her, but not in a way where I was like, I don't want to see this character or anything, but made me care less about her.
This is an incredible performance lodged into a character that you, I think, are also supposed to find unlikable in a sense, but also sympathize enough. It's a very tricky line.
Yeah.
They
dance around it.
Yeah. Where if you were to think, I just want this person to be dead. I personally don't. Yeah. I think, though, that there's so many choices made throughout where, even early on, the inciting incident for this movie is with the boy, right? The younger brother.
Yes.
Where if this character's selfish actions...
Yeah, her best friend's younger brother.
Yeah, just wouldn't have been done, then...
Even when, like, the scene happens
yeah.
with the younger brother, when he starts to physically get abused by this ghost, or by being possessed, you would think that everyone around them would jump in.
No.
And, none of them. I mean, I understand, like, being scared of what's happening, but none of them did anything. And they just stood there and stood by.
It's one of those things where you're like, what, are you complicit in a sense? And I had the subtitles on for this time. Mm-hmm. There's some background dialogue that I genuinely did not catch the first time, and you can hear them having conversations about literally that. It was kind of an interesting detail.
Yeah.
Because they're talking about how, well, at least they saw the video, so now we're void of any sort of... I'm like, so that's all they really care about, is just getting out of being complicit for an action. And it is to depict teenagers acting selfishly. I do think that this movie's very smart about that as well.
Yes.
The opening is fucking incredible.
Yes.
I forgot about it, where they're walking through the party. It's this long tracking shot where he's looking for his brother, and then you see what his brother does at the very beginning. Mm-hmm. You said, did you think this was scary?
Yes.
What moments of it, what sort of solidified that for you here?
I think it was definitely the abuse of the kid.
Yeah.
They definitely got me. I think it's just the extreme levels of it. Mm. To think that something that you wanted to have fun with, and it was taken advantage of.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and you were taking advantage of. Yes. So that was very scary in that aspect, but also the fact that not knowing what was real and what wasn't.
Yeah, and they even say that this thing can imitate.
Yes.
There's something I really liked that I noticed this time around that I hadn't picked up on the first time. The very first time you're introduced to the whole, I'm going to call it the talk to me demon, basically.
Yeah.
Where you put the hand and then you see it's like a jump scare pretty much the first time you see it.
That one got me too. Yeah. It's like, whoa, it just happens right away so fast.
I really like the designs. They're so simple in terms of how they're creepy, but they are creepy.
Yes.
That once, though, that happens, the second time it's told from the perspective of a phone. Mm-hmm. And then the third time, I do believe there's a third time it happens, it basically becomes less and less personal the more it goes on, which I thought was a clever way of illustrating that. No, I'm sorry, the third time is the phone. The second time, they say the talk to me thing, and then you don't see the whatever demon or ghost or whatever it is back. So as it goes along, it becomes less personable, which I think is reflective of how the movie sort of illustrates the fact that her whole thing is she wants to be with her mother again.
Or just like find the reasoning, like why'd you do it?
Yeah.
Type of thing. So which is why like I agree too with trying to have empathy towards her as well, because at the end she just misses her mom, and an accident like this just happened out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And was just shocked by it.
And you are not really sure. This movie does also play with the what's real, what's not real.
Yes.
A couple of times to question character sanity. I do believe the whole note at the end-ish is real.
Yes.
And the ghost was obviously, or demon, whatever you want to call it, was obviously imitating this person the entire time to really break down their sanity, essentially. I'm not really sure if that's a cliche or if that's a thing that people say with demons. I'm not too familiar with all that.
Yeah, I don't know much about demons.
I don't know either. Just the ones we fight, right? But
Inside. And the song by Imagine Dragons.
Yeah, I guess so.
Would you go see Imagine Dragons?
No, I've told you this.
Oh, damn, what was that? I couldn't even finish my sentence, huh?
You said if I had a free ticket on here, and I said, fuck no.
All right,
and then you had this.
Some things never change.
But here, what else are you a fan of in this?
In this movie?
Yeah.
I love the connections Like just from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
And I think because like I keep making this joke with you, where I was like, I love when they connect things from the ending.
No, I love when a movie starts and then it ends with something
that happened in the beginning.
Yeah,
that's just awesome. Yeah. I love when shit connects together.
That's a movie.
Yeah, that's why I love Lego so much when they connect.
Me putting a piece on top of another piece. You watching piece by piece, like
oh yeah,
that's a movie.
Oh.
But like what? Give me an example. Like in this movie, what do you?
When at the very end of the movie, when
are we talking about the ending already?
Well, no, I just want to connect it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I guess in the beginning of the movie, you see a deer gets hit.
Yeah.
Right, and then she avoids helping the deer.
Yeah, because
and it's supposed to symbolize the fact that she wasn't going to even help the younger brother.
Right.
As well.
There's something innocent or like
something innocent. Yeah. Instead, was just trying to take advantage of it, or not even that though, but like just trying to use it.
Yeah.
In a sense, and then at the very end of the movie, it was the same way. She was laying the same way as the deer.
As a deer, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I do think all of that's brilliant, the parallels and stuff, and we do see it a lot in horror movies, really, where, especially with just all of the stuff we've been reviewing lately, there's been a lot of that in terms of symbolism and what things mean. It has come back in a way where you are trying to, if any of our reviews where we're trying to break things down, it is usually horror movies that end up like, well, what does this mean? What does this mean?
Yeah.
And this one is about that, as well as the connection of, I don't want to call it.
Also, I think the performances from the parents themselves.
Oh yeah,
I think they did a really good job, because they, especially when it was the demon or ghost or whatever it may be, they were imitating them.
Yeah.
But the way that they showcased like their emotions, it felt real at the time, and it was very convincing.
Yeah.
I was like, was this a real thing that's happening? Until it wasn't.
Do you mean the mom or the dad?
Both.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought you were talking about the Lord of the Rings lady.
No.
Who I do like in this.
Oh yeah.
But no, I
feel like she was barely in the movie though.
She is barely in the movie. I think that's on purpose, because you're supposed to, how like Ed, Ed and Eddie does that thing where like the parents are gone, so it's kind of like the teenagers left to their own devices. Yes. I don't know why I picked that. I should have picked like Halloween, because that's
okay. I was like, what?
Halloween and It Follows, same sort of thing, where the parents are like
gone.
Where are you exactly? Yeah.
Why are there no parents?
Yeah, and Ed, Ed and Eddie. Exactly, but.
Sorry.
No, there's a lot of parallels here through. I don't want to call it abuse, but the boy does go through a fair amount of that, and I do think this movie does something interesting. It's not very nice, I'll say that much. A lot of horror movies really aren't. This movie ends kind of miserably.
Yes, very.
And the idea of, if we're talking about the ending still with the deer, what do you think happens when it's told from the perspective of the car? Do you think that she pushes her out onto the road, or what do you think happens there?
I think it was herself.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it seemed that she was the one who pushes herself onto the road and not the brother. Because the I don't know, the thinking of pushing the brother or having the brother get killed in order to save him?
It was because they kept saying that like he needs your help, and then there is an image, and you told me, I'm gonna ask you what you think of it. There's an image, it's very brief, and it's really intense. It's all red. It's like
where like he gets like, it's like him being like
basically torn apart essentially.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was very it reminded me of Insidious.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, just because like them being in another world like that. I guess like the spiritual world. Yeah. Yeah, it was very creepy.
The kind of scary this is the entities are so unknown, and you don't really know what their motives are. This movie feels blunt in the sense of it's just supernatural enough to be a horror movie, but it's not out of the realm of like, you could unfortunately see this situation happening, whether it be somebody's mental health making up some of this stuff as well, which is what this movie kind of is sort of an allegory for as well. And you could just put yourself in these characters' shoes pretty easily.
Yeah, I would think though it was her who, leaps out in front and ends her life instead, and leaving the boy alone.
Yeah.
For like herself. So
I've always wondered if that was up to interpretation or if that's just something that.
'Cause I don't think the sister of the brother made it in time in order to push, to save the brother and everything.
No, because I think that's why it's from that perspective, is to be able to debate that as well. Yeah. Because honestly, every time like I think about the ending, or the couple times I've seen it, I don't really think I know what happens there, but I do like to think that the character finally makes one selfless decision.
Because you're so selfish throughout the movie.
Yeah. But this is one of those movies where you're kind of dropped into the situation that they're in, and you're like, why is she ignoring her dad all the time? And then like, and I don't know if we won't get into any of our negatives yet or anything, but what do you have any more positives here about this?
I really enjoyed all the kids, when they were interacting with one another.
It's very difficult to pull off as well. I think people don't give enough credit to teenage actors and them actually being likable.
Yeah, I like the ringtone, the crazy frog.
I was gonna bring that up. So
not negative, but positive for me.
No, that's a full-on positive. Are you kidding? The
that caught me off guard. I was like, whoa, what?
I actually remember the first time I saw it, it took me out of it. I was like, is that the fucking crazy frog song?
Oh, it was so good.
And then I could not stop thinking about that. But I'm going to tell you why I think this movie, when it first came out, it was a huge deal. Like, it was one of those ones where it's like, have you seen Talk to Me? It's just like...
What?
It's like, have I... What? Have you what? And it was the song that we were listening, Le Monde, I think. Incredible. It became a TikTok sound, and it instantly gets stuck in your head. It's been stuck in my head. I watched it again today. And that stuff, you brought up that it's the simple thing that's so fun, because they do make that montage like silly in the sense that
they
it's
make it
just
so silly where you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Until you weren't.
Until you weren't. Until like this is like so comfortable until you're not. But the the scene, because I love when a horror movie can strike that tone and suck the energy out completely. We talked about that with Terrifier, and Smile just feels like that the whole time. Yes. But the idea of something being playful until it's just like that energy is just drained in the best way possible. It's a really hard tonal shift to do. This one does it with that scene where the demon takes over the boy, and unfortunately the characters that are the most innocent here in this movie kind of do get the worst of it. And I think the boy there, I know some people have said that they talked about like child violence, that this one, it bothered them, and I can see that. They like that kid. The prosthetics there.
He was only like 13.
Yeah, I thought they said like 12, but I don't know.
Young.
Either way, the prosthetics that they put on that kid are so realistic looking, and it's not flashy. It's not overly gory. What it is it looks like genuine. There are multiple moments. The sound design here is amazing too, by the way. I got to give that credit, because the scenes like when he's in the bath, for example, and you can hear the porcelain cracking and breaking while he's like hitting himself in the head. All that stuff's really well done. I think the reason why the flourishes, if I were to hypothesize why this particular movie became so popular, because like, be honest with me, are possession movies amazing all the time? No. And I feel like they don't hit that much. Although I've heard that there's two that I haven't seen that are really good this year, and that's Immaculate and The First Omen. I still gotta watch them.
Oh, okay.
But I've heard The First Omen especially is amazing. But there's little flourishes in this movie, whether it be because of their low budget YouTube careers that they can do this, that I think are the added additional what makes them special. There's some camera movements here where things tilt or they move that are so well done. I want to ask you if you liked the possession scenes and how they were shot in this movie. I did,
yes. Yeah. I think it's just something that's so creative, just because it's just how you enter into this world too. Yeah. And I think that's what it is. Like, it's those small little details that don't feel so easily given, that the only way for you to be in that world is that you have to let yourself, like your own selfish desires,
Yeah.
to be a part of it.
No,
right?
and did you notice that there's essentially no effects happening on screen there either whenever they enter the world? It's really simple camera stuff. Either they'll cut and then back and then the person's there.
Yeah.
Or if they're doing... There's this absolutely insane thing that they do that they must have set up with a camera rig or something where whenever the chair shifts, the camera shifts as well. And it like twists in this way that's almost unnatural. And that's to indicate that the body starts moving in an unnatural way as well. There's also this one, it's such a quick shot, but that's how you know they care, is this one where the chair tilts this way and then flips over the other way as well. And then like the camera like flips. And I just paid attention to that because I thought that was so well done. And there's this one other one. And I'm only bringing it up because when I saw this at Alamo, they had a pre-show because this was an independent film.
Yeah.
And it was bought by A24. They premiered it in somewhere in Australia, and you know they bought it from there. They even have the logo at the beginning of wherever it played, and I can't quite remember. But they were explaining how there's this one really well done shot, and it's that scene with the foot job demon where like...
Dude, alright, we're getting to our cons, right? Because that was disgusting.
How's that a con if it's gross? Like,
that wasn't scary.
You didn't think it was scary?
There's no genre
if
for
a
gross.
demon broke into your ear, it's like, come here.
Come here. No, I don't know.
I gotta say it's a con. That way people like, you know, catch you off guard. But the
guys' feet are gross. I don't. Look, people say don't kink shame. I kink shame.
Or when the foot job demon comes in the room.
No. That's what I do.
Dude, this scene's so funny. Whenever there's
dude, it was so random because it felt like she was in that dream sequence, right?
Yeah.
That's how it felt. And so she just sees a demon crawling up to like that bed.
Yeah.
And she's just like screaming, saying, "No!" And then you see the demon just sucking on them toes.
Yeah. And then she's
sucking on them toes. And I'm like, and he just wakes up to her just like deep into it.
This is Erwin's worst nightmare.
Dude, it was so gross. It was so, I was like, oh, dude, no. Yeah. I wish you told me about it, to be honest.
I forgot because what would you have done?
I think I would have just expected to. I was like, where is it?
Every time I see stuff like that, though, I think of you. So I'm always like, because of how much you're like, I will beat a foot if I see it.
You will what?
Not beat off.
Oh,
like
okay.
Everyone's like, stop it. You can't let them know anything else. No, not the cons yet, but in that dream sequence, there's this thing where the mattress, it looks like she's like lying down, right? But it's face up.
Yeah.
They do this thing where they like, actually the mattress is real and they twist it and then she walks forward. Yeah. And it's such a simple in-camera transition, and that's so hard to do. I just think the craft there is excellent. And okay, now we can move into our negatives.
Alright, mine's foot job.
It's not a foot job, she's just sucking on feet. A foot job's different. That's whenever it's like but with feet.
Ew! Stop! Oh my god. Okay, fuck, what were the negatives? The movie was short.
It was very short.
Yeah,
Did you think it was too short?
Huh?
Did you think it was too short? Okay.
Maybe another 10 minutes.
Maybe.
Just for me to care more. I wish I knew more about the parents. I think that's what it was too. Because I wish I cared more a little about the dad.
Yeah, he is barely in it.
Yeah,
although
but he had a significant scene though. That's where I'm just like, damn, I wish he was in it more.
He has one, but I will argue with you. I think that's detached on purpose. I do think though, that's the drawback, right? Yeah. Is that when she kills him, you could have felt more when that does happen. Yeah. I do think it's so surprising.
Yeah, they just relied on the fact that it's their dad.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to feel, impactful from that. But if there was another scene or two of the dad and just like the family as a whole together, I can see it being more like an emotional drawn.
I don't know if it's because I'm excusing it because this is a super independent film, so I know length is hard, so like I excuse it a little bit more, but whatever it may be. But I agree with you in the sense that I just wish I knew a little bit more about these people, but I also know why we don't. Yeah. And in terms of my negatives here, I think that there's a very fine line between making a character too unlikable and making a character just likable enough that they're bad decisions. It does cross a line a little bit once or twice where you're like, you know, this character, if she died, then like
I wouldn't care.
Everybody would be
better off. Dude, yes. I mean, it was just the main character.
Yeah.
Because the way that everyone else saying, like, she's a bummer, she sucks the life out of the party, type of thing, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Or it's like she's trying so hard. I'm like, damn. like in the beginning of the movie.
But whenever they're all saying that, I'm like, what did this person even do to you guys?
Yeah, like her mom just died.
Yeah.
I don't know why everyone's like.
I do like that though. I do like that there's an implication there that there's like a history there before. It does give more weight to the characters in terms of like there being a past with all these people. What it may be, we don't know. I like the whole relationship with Daniel as well, where I know that's my name. Yeah. Where they keep talking about the background of them used to have a thing for each other. Yeah. And like demons are assholes, we know that. And
we know this guy.
Wherever they like turn to a person and it's like he hates when you touch him.
Oh dude, that's so funny. Oh my god.
But whether that's true or not, I mean, what are you gonna do? Like believe in the demon that was like imitating somebody's mom the entire movie? Yeah. But I like that as well. I like that they imply that might be true, but it might also
not be.
Might not be. Yeah. What was your perception of that? Do you think that was actually her or?
Ah, shoot, I don't know. Like the moms were like the one of the demons took over and they would say things. Yeah. Oh, when they would say things.
Well, I'm asking. Well, both essentially.
Okay. Well, I feel like everything that was said genuinely. Yeah. Yes, but I mean, it was just showcased in a way where it was very just straightforward and trying to hurt the other person.
Yeah. This movie doesn't have enough time to go into like whether or not the things that demon said about like in Daniel's body or whatever was actually true or not. That's not really what this movie's trying to do. The reason why this movie's so effectively scary though, I think, is because it's like we are giving you just enough to go off of in terms of knowing what the rules are here. And sometimes movies fuck up their own rules, and I appreciate that this one didn't. It was like you got 90 seconds, get in or out, stay longer, there's a problem. I like that they did genuinely stick with that as the rule, because sometimes there's so many other things where it's like, well, we'll beat it this way or we'll beat it this way, and then if you just stick to that, I like that. Movies for some reason struggle with that.
That's true.
Yeah. Do you have any other negatives here, or
I don't think so.
No?
No. Overall, I just genuinely thought this movie was really good.
Yeah.
Especially for the length of it.
Yeah.
And I guess the premise itself. I do love the premise.
The premise is incredible.
Yes.
This is one of those artificial objects that I see in a movie that I'm like, I'm not going to touch that thing. No.
No, absolutely not.
I simply would not talk.
I loved how the ending went too, where, of course, like you find out that she's a ghost or a spirit.
You want to talk about the ending?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How she's a spirit now. Mm-hmm. And then the only way for her to get connected to something else was the fact that somebody else had to be using the statue itself, and it was in another country. Yeah. That was fantastic.
I love the ending to this movie. I told you, I think that the way in which this movie must have come about is somebody thought of the sickest fucking ending.
Dude, that ending was great.
Because once you realize what's happening, whenever she's like, everybody's moving on without her, and then it walks into this, like, the whole talk to me thing, and then the candle illuminates, and then you realize where you are, and then it cuts to her, and then there's like the slight breath, and then it's over. It's brilliant. I think that is the absolute best way that you could possibly have ended this. I know that they're making another one. Do you want to see another one of these?
They are?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. If it's by the same people.
By the same people, I believe.
I can see multiple movies of this, and of course with different experiences with the main character.
Yeah, we were talking about how Smile has the same sort of setup where it's like the Smile in this.
Yeah. But I wonder how they would top it though.
It would be difficult. Watching this again, I did realize, I was like, horror movies are able to feel bigger than they actually are, aren't they? Yeah. Because watching this again, I was like, there's really only like 8 people in this, and they're in like 3 places.
Yeah. But I think, because obviously whatever happens in the second one, hopefully the ending's different.
Yeah. you can't keep doing this.
Yeah. You're like, I already know what to do.
Yeah.
I already know what to expect.
Yeah, you're like, and like that ending's too good that you would think that they would do it again though. Because,
I don't think so. I feel they would try to do the same way where trying to rescue the boy, like Spirit.
Yeah,
they would do something similar to that, but in the second one.
I would like to see a sequel, and I'm pretty sure they are going to do one. But so let's go ahead and wrap it up here, Erwin. Overall, what'd you think of this, and what's your score?
I thought it was a really good movie. Highly recommend. I'm definitely gonna get the Blu-ray of this. Yeah, because I love the ending a lot.
Yeah.
I'll give it 4 out of 5.
Okay. I love this movie. This was in my favorite movies of last year or 2 years ago. Whenever it came out, this was in my I gave it 4.5 out of 5.
Damn.
Yep. Didn't change. Still sticking with that. I was like, is it a 5-star movie? No, it still has the same thing. Yeah. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. But I think this is incredible. It's very much a bummer though. Yeah. It's like really, I forgot how aggressively it beats you down and then it ends.
Whoa, because it's about mental health.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like Smile too.
Like Smile, yeah, that's about a lot too.
Yeah.
So, Erwin, what's up next?
I don't know.
We are going to have another...
You always ask me this, and I'm like, I don't know.
You never know. You literally never know.
Until you tell me Monday. You're like, hey, we're going to review this movie. And I go, oh, okay.
So we're going to have a secret other Halloween review for you at some point. Do you know what it is? And then we are going to be reviewing Anora as well. I'm super excited for it. How about you?
It comes in in the area, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm super excited. It's at South Lamar already. Anybody that lives in South Austin. So, guys.
We're calling out our friend Alex.
Oh, yeah, he does live there.
Yeah.
He's seen that, though. Thank you guys for listening and watching. What are they going to do?
They're going to like, comment, and subscribe.
Please do. Talk to us. What did you think of
Nice. That was good. Talk to it.
You said it?
Yeah. You didn't say it.
Yeah, I know. Starring Haley Welch.
I was going to get
3 billion more views. All right, thank you.
What if my son doesn't use his Make-A-Wish? Am I going to get a guest appearance on the Hawk Tua podcast?
I got to get there and on with Venom, too. Because he was on the... Did you see that meme?
No, that's good.
Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. We will see you next time.